Welcome back to the Middle of the Story podcast. I am your host, Hannah Grace Hall, and I am so excited about today's episode, mostly because I feel like it is so relevant for the times, but also because I have just absolutely loved getting to know my friend, Sarah Brewer. She is a mom, an influencer, a trainer, a friend, a believer, a just all around amazing, a kook, like just all around amazing human being. And I'm so excited for us to sit in the living room together and just talk about what it's like to live a life online and also live a life finding God in all the middles of all the hats we wear. So I'm so excited for you to be here.
I'm excited to be
and
here.
And Elsie.
Yes.
And baby girl. We start every interview with the exact same question.
Okay.
What's your testimony?
Okay.
How did you find Jesus, or rather, how did Jesus find you?
Yeah. So I, fortunately for me, my mom would take my brother and I to church every Sunday, every Wednesday, and that's just kind of how I was raised. And so then when I got into middle school, we still went to church on Sundays, but then, Wednesday nights kind of became more of like hangout, but it was still so good because it's still exposing you to Jesus and worship and community and stuff like that. But so I always went to church camps and stuff like that. And then high school is when I really got into, doing my quiet times and doing the extra thing, like a community group with high school and whatnot. So honestly, I don't have, every testimony is great, but there's never a time where I hit rock bottom. Jesus was always in my life.
Yeah.
And I always knew that I wanted to continue having him in my life. There was never a time where I was questioning him or whatever.
Yeah. Has it felt, what's it like to feel like you kind of have a normal story? You know what I mean? Because I feel like we,
totally.
especially today, with online and everybody having a
dramatic trauma or whatever.
Which we do. We do have trauma.
I know, but you know what I mean.
When you look at the hooks people have of you scroll and you're and then I was blah 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 and you're
I know.
What's it like to feel normal?
Yeah. No, sometimes I feel like it's so easy, and this might not be about me, but what I've observed is I feel like sometimes it's so easy to make something dramatic when it doesn't need to be dramatic.
Yeah.
I feel like life is already tough as it is. So if this is what came easy to me, I'm just going to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I've also experienced, when I have gone through something hard, I have experienced Jesus and the Holy Spirit there with me. And it just made me more confident in my decision to be a follower, if that makes sense.
Totally.
Yeah.
I feel like that's so good.
Yeah.
I do feel like we live in because people are so excited about therapy now, our age and younger.
Mm-hmm.
I think, you've been to therapy, right? We've talked about that.
Yeah.
The first 6 months of therapy and you're oh my gosh, this was actually really hard. And you kind of get into the reality of wow, that is not the way life was meant to be. Or this is not the way it was supposed to be. This is not the way God intended. That first 6 months of therapy, you can kind of, your realization can also kind of put you in a little bit of victimhood.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think the majority of us are just really blessed.
Mm-hmm.
And life is hard and sin is hard. And God is still so, so good to all of us. And so anyways, that's kind of we can go on a different tangent with that. But it's just so interesting to be yeah, we're pretty normal. We have a normal life. We don't, not everything is so big.
Yeah.
How it can feel online,
Totally.
Okay. So how did you enter into the influencer world?
Yeah.
You were everybody's favorite trainer in our town.
Yeah. So, okay, before I got married I'll just start from when I graduated college. I got a job in communication marketing, hated it. I've always played sports my entire life, so I knew that I wanted to do training and whatever. So when I hated my job at the time, I started a fitness account on Instagram, and that was honestly before influencers were even a thing. Um, so I posted probably consistently for a year then, and I gained like a little bit of a following, but like again, influencers weren't a thing. Like, I
Right.
mean, it was, but it wasn't like people didn't have like millions of followers
Right.
unless you were famous.
Right.
And anyways, when I ended up getting pregnant, I had really bad rheumatoid arthritis, so I like quit posting on that account, and then anyways, fast forward, I get back to like this time now, I guess, and I've just found myself at home with the kids, and I was like, I know I have more. Like, I love to cook, I love to train, I love to do all that stuff. I've had experience posting online. I'm not really afraid to just like pop on a camera and be like, hey, this is what I'm cooking for dinner tonight. Hey, if you need high protein, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's how I kind of got into it. Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
I feel like I just like totally rambled for a little
Yes.
bit, but I guess I just have always been pretty like active on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I just like continued, I
Yeah.
guess, after I got more confident in being a mom, I guess.
Totally.
Yeah.
And did you feel like, have you felt like your mission has changed, like influencing?
Um, well, I think I started more as a fitness account, and then I realized that like fitness was kind of something that I enjoyed doing, and I loved helping other people, but as for like working out and stuff, I kind of wanted to keep it to myself. Like I don't know, like I wanted it to be mine that I could do and not have to report or have to share or anything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say my mission has changed a little bit because my content has shifted. I started as a fitness quote unquote influencer
Yeah.
creator
Totally.
to more of mom, like full on mom content now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love it. I feel more comfortable in those shoes than fitness shoes, if that makes any sense.
It does.
Yeah.
Where do you feel like the Lord like meets you in the middle of influencing? Because it's a spicy world.
I think he definitely meets me when or like maybe even like maybe even the word confront would be a good word because I feel like I'm really humbled and confronted by him when I start posting stuff for validation versus um, why I started, which was to help moms with, that 5 o'clock, that second shift, having to do dinners and all that stuff. So when I start to spiral about like likes or shares or my follower count or whatever, I feel like that's really where he meets me because he will be like, look, Sarah, this isn't why you started. Like, yes, and making extra income is great. And that's like, that would be that like a bonus or whatever.
Totally.
But like you said you wanted to start, or when like I was considering starting it up again, he was like, you pretty much wanted to start to help moms, not to necessarily make that income. Yes, that income from influencing is very nice.
Totally.
But at the same time, it's like the validation and stuff is where I feel like he kind of confronts me or meets me.
What does staying grounded look like? Like when you get to that point when you're like, okay, I've only grown, if anybody has a creator account, they know like at the end of every month, Instagram will send you like, here's your monthly recap.
Yeah.
And it is overwhelming to look at like, oh my gosh, I'm down 8% in this. And I thought it was going this way. And I think, we both played sports. We can both be competitive. It's exciting to grow and like beat metrics and like it can get so out of balance.
Yes.
So
very
like
quickly.
so
too.
quickly.
Yeah.
So like what does that confrontation look like in your quiet time? And like what are you doing to stay grounded? Like what could you tell young women or a mom or someone who's like kind of walking through just a social media driven world on like the first part of the question is, what does the confrontation look like? And then the second part of the question would be like, how are you staying grounded?
Yeah. That weekly recap when it's like your screen time is,
Yeah.
I don't even want to say how many hours my screen time is, but I would say that is kind of where I'm confronted. And then I look at myself and I'm like, I just kind of think to myself, wow, X amount of hours. How do I feel? Do I feel fulfilled or what? And I mean, if you think about it, Instagram or when you live your life online, you're literally living in a roller coaster of emotions, because if a video goes viral or whatever, you get this high. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm on top of the world. And then the second a video flops, you're down low again.
Yeah.
So I would just, when I stay grounded, I just have to like remember again why I started, and then kind of like look at my relationship with everyone in my house, because truly my first ministry isn't serving strangers on the internet.
Yeah.
It's serving my family. And so if I'm feeling very short-tempered with my kids or whatever, I kind of just have to like put the phone down, and remember like my family will always be here, but like the internet could literally explode tomorrow.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Totally.
Yeah. So I guess that's how I'm staying grounded, is just remembering like who I serve first, Jesus also like first, and then family, and then again, internet is just bonus.
Yeah. Do you feel like God speaks to you in those like quiet spaces, like kids get to school and the to-do list feels a little done?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what does a quiet time like look like for you in this season? Because
Yeah.
I do know moms are like,
Oh,
quiet time
yeah.
is so different. Like,
Mhm.
even I only have 2 kids, you have 4. Every time you add a kid, I feel like you
Yeah.
have to readjust your quiet time.
For sure.
So what is the middle of like quiet time
Look
looking
like-
like right now?
I will always have worship on in my car. Like
Yeah.
that is, I don't change the station. It is on, I think it's like Air 1 or
Yeah.
whatever, 94.1 or whatever. We always listen to worship. And so whether the kids are in the car or whether I'm alone, that's what I'm listening to. And there's been multiple times where a song will come on, or even like one of their ads or commercials just kind of speaks to me. So that, to me, I mean, it might not be enough, but it is doing something for me, and then also when I'm rocking her, laying down with the boys, whatever, that is kind of when I just like sit and pray and like pray over them, kind of like a prayer rhythm, like that, because I mean, I don't open the Bible every single day just because of, and I mean, I can make an excuse. You can all make excuses.
We all can.
But yeah, it would be like me just praying in my car, right? That's what my quiet time looks like right now, is like praying in the car, praying over them when I'm rocking her or laying with the boys, or listening to worship music in the car, or when I like kind of have a little God wink or whatever. I'm like, this is it.
Yeah. That's so good.
Yeah.
What are your like main convictions as you build your community online?
Yeah. So I mean, I think everyone can say this, like, I don't want to come across as perfect or whatever, but like I for sure know that that's the last thing I want anyone to feel on my account or on my page, is like when you go on my page, I want someone to feel like she helped me, she like they get joy from my account. I don't want anyone to be like exiting off of my page feeling less about them, if that makes sense. So I 100% will always do my best to be like as real as possible. And I think everyone says that, but then at the same time, it's so not. Like, I'm like, you can say you're being real, but so being.
Well, you see people in real life. I mean, that is the thing about like living in Nashville.
Yeah.
And like living in a town where like I feel like there are so many influencers here.
Yeah.
You see them in real life and you're like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not what I expected.
Yes. Yeah. So, just being like a real mom, that would be super helpful and not stray away from like who I actually am as a person, if that makes sense, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't want anyone to like compare their life to mine. Because I mean, everyone has their stuff that they're going through. And like, I mean, everyone says Instagram's just a highlight reel, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah. Who would you say you are? If you could tell the World Wide Web, if they were listening here in the living room with a cup of coffee.
Okay, I literally am a mom who struggles with I like compare myself to so many other moms on the internet. I am I like feel like sometimes I'm not equipped to be the mom, you know. But at the same time, I know I am doing my best to, you know, raise really good kids who do love Jesus. And I feel like I'm a good friend. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I am a good friend to have in your village kind of thing, because I know what it is like to need someone in your village, just with like postpartum depression and all that stuff that I've gone through and going through.
Yeah.
But it's just, I feel like who I am is just like, I say that with a humble heart. Like,
Totally.
I'm like not, I will like straight up be like, no, I can't eat out today because I got food at home kind of person. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I know that sounds so random or weird, but like that's just who I am. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like trying to bring back the authenticity of motherhood, womanhood, and like it's kind of like a lonely space.
Yeah.
To be in.
For sure. Motherhood, it can be extremely lonely.
Yeah.
Extremely lonely.
I feel like everybody says to like have a village, but then you're like, what does that even mean? You know, especially, you know, everybody has a different situation, whether their family doesn't live here or you have complicated relationships with family, or I don't know. I do feel like in the online world, a lot of accounts talk about like having a village and having this support system that if you aren't raised in a family that like values like being there for each other and supporting one another and serving one another, then how do you really do that in real life?
Yeah.
And that doesn't, you know, that could be that situation, or your family doesn't live where you live.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're like out in the Wild West.
You have to. I think the way I have really found my like friend group is or like your village is like, in order to be or to have a village, you have to be the village. So you just have to really put yourself out there and be like, hey, I'm bringing you over dinner tonight because you had a hard day, or I'm bringing you this because you have a tough phone call tomorrow or something like that. And I think God will always end up providing. Like if you are doing that for someone, I feel like he will always provide what you need when you need it, kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I think you can, like, something with me is I've definitely dealt with, like, you know, pouring into the wrong people and then not getting anything back. And so something I actually talked about with my therapist was, like, if you're willing and able to do something without anything in return, then, like, you have a good heart about it. But if like you are feeling like you need something in return from that person, then like you need to check yourself, kind of. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like just like when you're serving or finding your village, like I don't know. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm going off on the tangent.
You're doing great. I mean, the Bible talks about like the seeds you sow and like what is the life you're gonna like when people look back on your life, like what is it gonna look like? Is it gonna be weeds or fruit? Mm-hmm. And like I hope that my life has fruit around it. You know, like and I'm sure you understand this, but like I have been in a friendship where I it was like literally walking into a brick wall of like, this is what I want. Like, this is what I think this friendship should be. This is what I want this friendship to be. And it never was. And me being like, but look at everything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, first of all, ew, to myself.
Yes, 100%. I've been convicted that way too.
Yeah. Second of all, that person is not going to be that to me, you know, like, and that expectation, at some point I had to be like, this isn't even fair to this person, you know, like, this is now on me. And it doesn't matter the amount of good I've done, like the self-righteousness, the ick. But like, I had to like release that person. And then just like in really small ways through like getting involved in church, in our church. And like you said, maturing and using that discernment of like, who are my people going to be? And like, and it's a slow burn. It's not a like, well, I made this person dinner, so I expect, you know, I don't know.
No, totally.
It's hard. It is really hard work. And I do think the more I've matured in my relationship with Jesus, the more I've been at peace with who my people are. Does that feel true to you as well?
Yes, for sure.
Like, I have been more at peace with people when I'm more in the presence of Jesus and more pursuing him in my relationship with him. And then everything else has gotten more quiet. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that feel true to you as well?
Yes, it does. Especially too on the like online platform. Like when I feel more peace in my home, I'm not as anxious when I post online because again, like I have the peace where it matters. And I like if I'm being true here, like if I have the peace and the realness in my home and in my family, I feel like that kind of also comes online too. You can't be, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like transfers over to your online platform too.
Yeah, well, it's like what you said, like if we put all of our eggs in this basket of online presence and income and it's all for the right reasons. Like I want to do good. I want, like for me, it's like I want people to experience the freedom of Jesus and I want people to have real, authentic, rigorous relationships with the Lord. Like that is why I show up online.
Yeah.
And you show up online to like support women and like it's all these like good intentioned things, but it's like the eggs have to be in the right basket. And it's this really weird like mindset of like I'm showing up online for Jesus and other people and then you're just like this is hard to navigate, but it has to like the seeds and the growth and the like my identity and everything has to first be in him and then be grounded in my home.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever like it kind of what you just said kind of reminded me of that triangle. Have you ever seen it where it's like God, family, social media, like or even like in college it was like homework or good grades, social life, student or whatever.
I never lived my life like that in school.
Well, no, but basically it's like you can have two, but you can't have all three. So like if you are going out and you are being social, then you're not going to have good grades or something like that. Or, you know, it just is like two it's kind of like in social media. It's like you can have like your faith, I don't know. It's just hard to balance all. And I feel like when you're really going after something, so like me growing my following, I will like be straight up honest. I have like lost patience on my kids because I've been distracted on my phone trying to do a post or make a story or something like that. It's just like because that's what I was giving all of my effort to.
Right.
So yeah, it's hard to find the balance. It is really hard to find the balance.
Totally.
And like I don't do it well at all. I'm like
I think it's so hard. I literally I feel like you have to wake up and choose Jesus and choose your family
Mm-hmm.
and then like let the overflow be that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like, I mean, you're in a season where you're not sleeping through the night.
Yeah.
Like you are constantly in the car, like Ubering children.
Yeah.
Your schedule is completely full.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, my heart for women is that it just like always be about Jesus, right? Like you just like that's it. That is the bread of life, the spring of life, the well that we go to. But then like I started this podcast called The Middle of the Story and it's like, okay, well what does a Wednesday look like? And it's like, I don't know, I'm picking up
I know.
2 different people and we're going here and we have this commitment and then I got the flu and like, you know, you're just like week in and week out. It is wow. She's got to go to the bathroom.
Girly girl, you just win. Sorry.
No, it's fine. This is real life.
Good.
Okay, slight intermission for a small potty break from Elsie. No biggie. We're back. We were just discussing like, I don't remember. Community.
Yeah.
Being a person.
I know. Oh,
momhood.
I think we were talking about, it was just on the top of my tongue.
I should know.
No,
I'm sleeping. You're not.
No, I think we were like talking about serving, how we can't really serve.
Yes, the triangle.
Yeah.
We were on the triangle.
Yeah.
It's like a balance. Okay, so like in light of balance and like, God bless you, in light of the seat that you're sitting in, what do you think the Christian community could do better at supporting moms?
Okay, so I know you say Christian community. I think moms in general, whether you're Christian or not, we just need to be supportive of each other because we're all doing our best, or at least trying to do our best.
Totally.
Like,
when I say Christian community, I mean like church community too, and like even like if your kids go to like a faith-based like Mother's Day out of preschool, like the body of Christ really should be like supporting and loving one another. So I'm like, yes, moms need to be supporting moms. I've said this on my platform before. Like some of my best friends, we believe wildly different. Like politically, even spiritually, and like they still like one of those friends literally got on a plane for me when Adam and I went through our yuck season.
Right.
Literally got on a plane in 24 hours and sat with Amelia. Like now, some people don't have like the means to do that or the opportunity to do that. That's okay. That is an extravagant example. I totally think like women should be for women, moms should be for moms, and like, God, I just wish America would just like lay it down and like, let's just love one another and support one another. But that's a whole different story. But when I say Christian community, I just mean like we are commissioned to love one another. Like we are like a part of being like the body of Christ is supporting one another. And like there are older women in church that are empty nest or whatever in the school that your kids go to or wherever you find Christian community, at the gym, like that are empty nesters, that have never had kids, that like there is a slew of people. And like even in my season, like I was able to make my friend, one of my mom friends dinner last night because like Adam was home from work and my kids sit and eat dinner at the table. Like, and she has a little baby, and her husband was gone. And like, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, I do feel like the Christian community, because, well, also because it is like my podcast is mainly geared towards like Christian women, like we could do a better job of supporting one another. We could do a better job of serving and like showing up. And like, what do you think that like
looks like? So I think like if you go back in maybe like 20 years, which I feel like this sounds like, I mean, I'm only 32, but when you really think of like what community looked like back 20 years ago, it was like just randomly showing up with a casserole at your doorstep.
Yeah.
And now I do feel like what that looks like now is like, hey, I don't mean to like interrupt, or if this is going to inconvenience you, or I don't want to inconvenience you. Or we've become very like our society, and I'll circle this back to like Christian women, or moms, but our society is become very selfish. So it's like, well, that doesn't serve me, so I'm not going to go, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But as like a Christian mom and wife, and as a Christian, I mean, you have to inconvenience yourself. If you want, again, going back to like the village, if you want a village, that's going to be inconveniencing yourself too, because you're going to have to do some stuff so that you don't want to always do. So showing up for your people, showing up for people that you don't even necessarily love, because I mean, not love, but like know.
Yeah.
Because because that's what Jesus says, is like we're serving others. And I mean, yes, he says to love people, and then you show, I always think like if you live like him, you're literally showing people what it's like to live like Jesus.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, it happens. Sometimes that means being inconvenient or inconvenienced.
Yeah.
Loving on their kids, like supporting their kids too. Yeah. Does that, I mean, I guess that answers your question.
Yeah.
If that's.
Well, and like from the overflow of like being loved, like when you like literally look at the cross and like what Jesus has done for us and how much he loves us and like how inconveniencing I think I am to him, because I'm like squirrel, like I need to be reminded of my mission and the goal and like of who he is and who he calls us to be. Like out of that overflow, I can bring you dinner. I can go on a walk with you. I can go to the boys' games. I do think we get caught up in our like self-serve, self-idolizing world. And like that kind of comes with like the online community and the online like
it's super easy to
I'm
be
an influencer.
absorbed.
Like I am, this is who I am. And it's like, okay, but like who is Jesus and who has Jesus called you to be? And that is like that is like loving his bride. That is loving people. Like the Great Commission, go and make disciples, baptize them in my name. Like, that's what we're supposed to be doing.
I know.
And we get sidetracked.
Yeah, so much, so easily.
Too. And for good things. Like, for our family, for like, I have yet to meet someone that has like a big online following that's like, I think I'm a big deal. I mean, they really may think that, and that's fine. But really, they like, it started out as something that's like really great. Like, I just wanted to share like all these deals on clothes I got, or I just wanted to like love people. Like, it does start in a innocent way, like in a kind way.
For sure.
And it's just, how do we as a community, how do we as a body of believers show up in these spaces and be
real?
Yeah. And love one another.
Yeah. I think that my biggest thing that I will talk to my husband about all the time, especially when I start getting caught up in the numbers and the metrics of my post and stuff, is like, gosh, this is not forever, like this is just set. Like sometimes, I mean, even on like the days where I'm like, I think I'm just gonna quit, I'm like, gosh, it's just not forever. And like, I wish more people could wrap their head around that. Like, I feel very, I don't know if honored's the word. I feel very grateful that I have that perspective on life. Do I always live by it? No. But does it help me talk me off the ledge?
Yeah.
Yes. Like when I think to myself, like, when I get to heaven, none of this stuff is going to matter.
Yeah.
And that is just so freeing.
Yes.
It's so freeing. But like, I mean, yes, we're supposed to have like community and
Yes.
all the stuff here on earth, but when you do get like caught up in the hardships of motherhood, and I just kind of have to like, again, like take a step back and be like, okay, what is my purpose on this earth? And it always comes back to like being the mother to my children, being a great wife to my spouse, and then everything else is just extra.
Totally. Where do you feel like God is meeting you now? In this season.
Yeah, in this
Fourth
season.
baby, first girl.
Honestly, I think he's like really giving me the courage to be vulnerable. Because I think for so long, and I mean, I think again, our society has become very open to like mental health. We're just more aware of mental health and therapy and all that stuff now than we were when my mom was raising me and my brother.
Totally.
But I still don't feel like a lot of people are talking about it. I mean, they are, but it's not.
They are. You feel like it's like loud online, but we don't talk about it in like our social circles.
And I also think a lot of it has to do with super severe trauma. Does that ever make sense? Or does that make sense? Like, I just feel like you have to have something so detrimental to your upbringing
to validate
you. Yes. So like for me, I had a great childhood, whatever, but I'm still like struggling now with postpartum depression and rage, and I feel like a lot of people don't really see that. So I feel like he has really given me a platform right now to show up and like make moms just be seen when like, oh, this person says that I should be enjoying motherhood so much, but then like I'm not. So what's wrong with me? And it's like, nothing's wrong with you. It's hard and your hormones are everywhere, and
nothing is yours.
Yeah.
Time is yours. Your body.
You're losing your hair. Your body, you weigh 10 pounds more, if not more, than what you are. You're 3 pant sizes up. Like, you just don't feel like yourself.
Yeah.
So I really do think that he is like giving me the courage to come up with some of the ideas that I have on social media to like create like content or whatever to really help a mom. And I always do go back and say, like, if I can help one person feel seen in this like season, then I've done my job. And like sometimes again I'll get wrapped up in the numbers and be like, oh, I only had 5,000 views on this post. Like, why did it flop or whatever? But then I'll get a comment or a message like, hey, thanks for sharing this. And then I'm reminded like the reason why I started, you know?
Yeah.
So I would say he's just kind of meeting me kind of like in the hardships of my postpartum right now.
Yeah.
Knowing that, and I know it won't last forever. Like, I know like there will always be a season of like being hard and whatever, but like the loneliness that we've kind of talked about, and the just like not feeling like yourself that we've talked about.
Yeah.
That's not going, she's playing a
I
game
know.
with me. That's just not going to last forever. And I have seen myself through it before. I know I'll get through it again.
Yeah.
But if I can help someone else get through it too, and I give that like glory to Jesus.
Yeah. That's so good.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I guess that's where I think he's meeting me.
I love it.
Like in the middle. Like you said.
Literally
in the middle, because there's not an outcome yet.
No. Like motherhood is, I feel like motherhood
is always the middle.
Especially, yes, literally. Because even I know adults that, I know adults on both sides of the spectrum. Ones that are like, I love our kids being adults. Like, it's so much fun to be friends with them. And then I know some adults that are like, it's really hard to be a parent to an adult because you can't save them. You can't give them a passy. You can't give them an ice cream cone and like make their world better. So I think it's just, I don't know if you like listened to like the first episode of the podcast, but it's like the middle is if you have this human suit on, you are in the middle.
We are.
Like, this is it. 100%. This is the middle. And it's we're always going to be facing something. And I was listening to the post-game interview to the Duke women's coach, and she was like, it was like very biblical what she was saying. I was like, are you a believer?
Yeah.
But she was like, you're either going to be in a season of adversity or a season of what I would say promise. I think she said like mountaintop or something like that. Like, you're either going to be in the great or you're going to be in the like adversity.
Yeah.
You like, or you're switching. Like, but even on the mountaintop, you will be like, you can enjoy it and it's glorious. And like, there are glorious things about the season that we're living in. All of our kids are healthy. Like, we have beautiful homes that are safe. And like, we have so much to be thankful for. And we are still looking at things that are hard.
Yeah.
And like, that is the human suit.
Yeah.
That is the middle of our story. And it doesn't have to be this overly dramatized trauma.
Yeah.
It can also just be really normal, like, hey, motherhood's hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
4, 6 and under, right?
Yeah.
Is really hard. And like, I have a 4 and a 2-year-old and I'm still like, this is hard.
Yeah.
Like, but I do think that like the glory of it is that we're doing it for a purpose and like for such a time as this. Yeah. Like, our kids are here. We are mothering them and loving them and stewarding them and pointing them for a purpose and a time for good things that God has ordained over them. Yeah. And we just get to be their little intercessors and their like guides through life.
I know. Yeah.
And it's just,
and it is cool.
It's so cool. And it's a lot.
Yeah.
And then you try to show up on the World Wide Web and be honest.
I know.
And some random weird burner account will be like, well, you're a hypocrite, blah, blah. And you're like, okay.
Or like, I posted something the other day where I was like, all right, Oliver, my 2-year-old, I'm like, do you want your Crocs or do you want your tennis shoes? And then someone comments and it's like, he's 2. Why are you giving him choices? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just trying my best.
Yes.
Because honestly, you're like, you don't know my 2-year-old. If I put those shoes on him, he's going to want his Crocs.
Yes. I'm like,
I have to deal with that.
Oh, ours is socks. I'm like, do you want to wear socks today or no socks? Not a hill I'm going to die on, you know? Like,
I know. People are crazy on the internet. So
they are. Well, my prayer and hope is that this episode blesses somebody in the middle of a Monday or a Thursday, and they know that they are seen and loved by Jesus.
For sure.
That I know that they're not the only one struggling.
Yeah.
And that at the end of the day, authenticity and vulnerability will bring peace and glory to the Lord and make your life so much easier. Even though it feels really hard to be authentic and vulnerable.
Yeah.
It is
and not
such
play
a better
victimhood too.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. I hope so too. I hope that someone will listen to this and be like, oh, that's me.
Yeah.
You know?
And we can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a mom.
Yes.
I gave birth.
4 times.
Well, like to anybody,
yes.
you know, anyone listening, I'm just like, you're a mom, you gave birth. Like you're a baddie.
You're doing it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Elsie.
She did good.
Yes.
Other than the poop.
No, that's okay. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you have a great week.